Welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest, and on this episode, I've got I think it's a 𝘮𝖆𝖏𝑇𝑊𝑊𝑒. Oh, that's that motorhome I was thinking of. Alright, so I've got a super new, pretty new King Ranch with me today. I think it's a King Ranch, but the power steering hose has busted a pinhole leak in it. Check out right here. That's pretty obvious, so I went ahead and ordered the new power steering hoses. These are both the pressure hoses. I was just going to order one. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, so I just went ahead and ordered both. Well, big headache getting it. I called the dealership like the day I figured out. It was supposed to get there 2 days later, and I was like, great, we'll have this fixed in no time. 2 days came and went, and I called them, and they were like, hey, the part's not here. I was like, well, can you see if it has been shipped? Dude, I'm fed up dealing with dealerships, dude. I'm sick and tired of dealerships. They're ripping everybody off. Every time I hear of somebody going to a dealership, they're getting scammed. Every time I deal with one, it's a headache, dude. Such a big headache. So I ordered this part. The thing is, they always lie too, because I'm like, can you tell me if this part has shipped? That's a simple question, and they said yes. There's only one thing that could mean: the part is in shipped. It has been shipped. Well, I called him back 2 days later, and the guy I talked to wasn't there, so I talked to somebody else, and they said, oh, the first one, something happened, and we ordered you a new one 2 days ago. So already I'm like, bro, they told me that it was shipped. I'm like, I don't want to deal with you guys anymore. And I'm like, has this other one shipped too? When's it going to be there? They're like, oh, 2 more days from now. And I'm like, nah, I don't believe that. You're just ordering another one. So they ended up hanging up on accident, I think, when they were trying to put me on hold. I didn't call them back, and I just ordered some new hoses online. So when it comes to like something this new, I like to get stuff from the dealership mostly because I know it's the right part. Hopefully I don't get burned on this one. I've already been burned by the dealership. Every time I deal with the dealership, I get burned. I'm fed up with it. I don't know what to do. I don't know, dude. There needs to be like some sort of accountability for these dealerships. Anyways, here's my power steering hoses. You can see right there. Let's go take a look at the truck. You saw the hose. I'll show you where it's at. I'm gonna need to get some more rags. I was almost out. I'm almost out. And I was like, when I run out, I'll get some more. Hopefully I have enough, because I'm gonna have to clean up a ton of power steering fluid. You saw the leak. It's been spraying all over everything. I can't get a good look at it because I don't want to put my face underneath it. All right, so I started out underneath there. Lots of drips. There's a reservoir right there. That hose right there, you can't see the sheath pulled off of it because of the fan blade right there. The sheath's pulled off. I'm guessing that's the one that's because the customer pulled it off when he was looking for the leak. You can see now. That's the one that's leaking. Not much I'm gonna be able to do from up here. Luckily, that's a charge hose right there. Say charge, that's the intercooler right there. It's just the intake hose, but it's coming from the turbo sus. Got to be sealed up. When I was working on a King Ranch one time, I didn't close the turbo clamp back up tight enough. Customer gunned it on the interstate. Kaboom! Blew that hose off. So I had to go fix it on the side of the road. He was able to get off the interstate though. Okay, that. Well, that's why I was saying that thing almost fell off this bucket. If I need to remove that, it's not coolant or anything, was my point being. This is. So I don't want to mess with any coolant lines if I don't have to. I don't want to drain and refill that. Look at that reservoir. It's been getting Mercon 5 put in it. I've got to double check that's the right fluid for the power steering. If not, I've just got to drain it when I've got it open and refill. Well, there's the pump right there. Anyways, I'm kind of hesitating to get back under there because I'm gonna have to start cleaning. And first thing I'm really gonna do is make sure this hose matches. So let's pull that out and I'll let you know. Okay, that took me quite a bit longer than it should have to figure out. I think I can do everything from right here though, because it took me so long to figure out because this hose just doubles back on itself. It's touching itself right there. That's the same hose, I believe. It goes down, loops around, and comes back up. So I think I have to take like one little 8mm bolt off down there. But that right there and that right there, it looks like the same hose. I've kind of like quadruple checked. one has like the little S squiggle at the end there, and this one goes out a little, 45, 90. So you see right there, it goes out a little, 45, 90, and the little squiggle on the end there. So all this isn't super necessary, and that's good because I was dreading trying to be able to reach everything from under here. Turns out all you could see from under here was the leak, because there you can see that hose comes down and loops itself back up. And there's that one little bolt right there, just holding it to that plastic wiring sheath right there. Okay, I think it's realistically like an 18mm. No, it's probably not metric. But if I had an 18mm, that would be the right size for metric if you wanted to use one. I'm gonna try the 19 though, because that's a flare nut wrench, so it's gonna grab pretty well on both those sides. On that old one, it shouldn't be any issues. On the top there, it looks like an 8mm, and it gives me just the perfect amount of space to put my wrench right here and get that off. So this shouldn't be too hard. I told him like 2 hours at most, so I think I'll be done before that. All right, it's gonna be dark up there. I know, I didn't think that would be a problem. Wasn't a problem at all. I could barely get my hand in here on this wrench, and like one finger pushing on the wrench, pop that free, so. See what I mean? So that's good. At least I don't have to fight with that one. That's gonna be the hardest to get loose. Like I said, I got the wrench on there and pushed it with one finger. And I was like, shoot, did I just push it off? No, because I reached it, grabbed afterwards, and it was twisting. All right, I just got that loose. I kind of had to put the wrench back on there and just do half turns at a time, quarter turns at a time. So it took a few minutes, a little bit harder than it coulda, shoulda, woulda. But not too bad overall for what this job is. So go ahead and get this other, that 8mm right there. And that should slide out through this hole, I'm guessing. And I've got a drain pan down there and a drip pan, trying to catch everything. Okay, there's that bolt. It's a 10mm, not an 8. Oop. Oh yeah, that was a good catch. That was longer than I thought. That's what I was gonna say about that. So it just took a minute longer to unscrew than I thought it would. And there's that coming right off there. I'm gonna use a flathead to make sure that pries off evenly. It'll yank on it and just. Well, I was like pulling on that hose with the screwdriver and whatnot, like this should come out. And I forgot the little 7mm down on the bottom. Nothing's been the same size. There was an 8mm somewhere holding this on. 7mm at the bottom of this. 19mm right here and 10mm right here. So that doesn't make much sense. Good news is though, it should come out of it. There it is. Cool. Make sure we've got our seals off of the end. Went in there, turns out the old one was bent. That makes sense because I was surprised those lines were touching each other. You can see this new one, it had a better bend on the bottom. You can see right here, the bottom of that is supposed to be straight. I'll show you underneath there because I've got to put that little bracket on still. But basically I was like, dang, I was like almost about to bend the new one to match that shape. And then I was like, well, let me just see if it goes in first. It did. That loops around. Makes a lot more sense how wide that loop is, how tall it is, and those not touching right there. I just got that all tightened down though, so I'm gonna clean this up one last time and I'm gonna have to bleed this. Okay, I just got everything wiped up here. That bracket's on now. That's everything. This isn't gonna touch anything. It's not touching anything. It looks a lot better than it did, so just gotta bleed it now. All right, got it bled. No more whining. That's a job well done. Well, that's it. No need for the dealership on this one. And honestly, that's a good thing. If you like this video, make sure you're subscribed. You could donate at the links in the description. Make sure you check out this video next. I'll see you there. That's a job well done.